Home sells at nearly a $750,000 loss in southwestern Ontario community. And this was power of sale. It was purchased back in April of 2022 for $2.6 million, and bank took the possession as a power of sale and sold it for $1.865 million in May. That's a loss of over $730,000. If you're thinking of buying your home in Ontario, you might have come across a term called power of sale and wondered what it means. Is it a good deal or is it a risk waiting to happen? Today, I'm breaking down it all, the advantages, the disadvantages, and what every first time home buyer or a buyer in general should know before jumping into power of sale property. Hello everyone, my name is Parth Soni. I'm a realtor based in Ontario. If you're looking to buy or sell anything in Ontario, let me know. I'm happy to jump on a call with you. You can book a one-on-one call with me with the first link in the description. So let's start with the basics. What is the power of sale? In Ontario, when a homeowner falls behind on their mortgage, the lender, usually a bank, has a right to sell the property without going through a long court process. And this is called power of sale. Now, it's different from foreclosure, where a bank takes ownership of the property. With power of sale, the owner still technically owns the home until it's sold, but the bank has a legal authority or legal right to sell that property in order to recover the money that is owed. Now, let's talk about the advantages of power of sale. And I will split this into two parts, advantages for a borrower and also for the buyer. So for the borrower, the number one, you actually keep ownership of the home until it's sold, which means you can still have a chance to fix this situation. In this case, borrower means who is the current owner of that property who default on the payment. The second advantage on this is you can stop the sale if you pay back what you owned. This is called a right of redemption. The other benefit in this one for borrower is that if the home sells for more than what you own, the surplus money goes back to you. So you are not left with nothing. Now let's check if you are someone who's purchasing that property, what are the advantages for you as a buyer's perspective? Now, a power of sale property can be attractive because they are often priced to swell quickly. So most of the time, if you see comparables, they are priced a little bit low in terms of for the bank to sell it quickly. Now, this home sometimes present opportunity to get into the market at slightly lower cost compared to traditional sales, what is happening around the area. And there are some reasons for it why usually power of sale property goes little lower than what is happening in the market. Sometimes in most of the scenario, you may get a stellar deal out of it as well. So let's talk about the disadvantages of it. So for the borrower, what happens? The process moves quickly. After you receive a notice of sale, you typically have only 35 to 40 days to catch up on the payment. Now, all these days and the time period I'm mentioning over here depends on bank to bank how your deal is underwritten. And you will also be responsible for the lender legal and administrative cost, which can add tens of thousands of dollars. And of course, missing on mortgage payment damages your credit score, which can affect your ability to buy or borrow in the future. Now, let's take this disadvantages from a buyer's perspective. The biggest drawback in the power of sale is that homes are strictly sell as is. The lender does not make any repair or any guarantee the condition of the property. So you could be walking into issues like structural problems, unpaid utility bills, or even tenants who don't want to vacate or want to leave that property. So, and if you're someone who is looking to purchase into power of sale, I have a complete list of clauses that you need to put down when you are offering on them. And if you're someone who's considering purchasing a power of sale, I have a complete list of clauses and conditions that you need to put down when buying a power of sale. So reach out to me or email me. So while the sticker price might not look like a deal, the hidden risk can be costly. And if you don't do your homework, it could add tens of thousands of dollars after you close your property. And in the end, I will tell you how I work with the power of sale if the buyer is interested in purchasing in that one, so stick to the end. Now let's discuss how the process works. So let me quickly walk you through the timeline so that you can understand how actually the overall everything works in this one. So homeowner misses on a mortgage payment. That's a very first thing. Now after about like 15 to 30 days, now again, it depends on lender to lender. The lender can issue a notice of sale. Now check this if you're in a situation, the first thing is to reach out to your bank or the lender and check what are the timeline looks like from them. And from there, the borrower has about 35 to 40 days to pay up. And this is called a redemption period. Now, if they don't pay, the lender can proceed with a statement of claim and eventually a right of possession, meaning a homeowner can be evicted. And then the property is listed on the market usually at a competitive price, and once it sells, the debt are cleared, any leftover money goes back to the original owner. Now, what we see on this example, like a $750,000 loss in this case scenario, like when someone who has bought it at a peak and the bank is able to sell at a very low price, nothing goes towards the homeowner. And there are a couple of myths as well about power of sale properties. Now, these properties are listed on MLS like realtor.ca, House Sigma, all your website where you search your home. So it's not only exclusive to realtors. And this is the biggest myth. So many realtors selling out, like I have an exclusive list of power of sale property, but it is readily available into the market. You might not know because you might not know who is selling the property, but there are some keywords that you can use in your search which can help you to find power of sale properties. Like you can put down a keyword as a bank, lender, financial institution, credit union, things like that. And then there are a bunch of keywords. Again, you can reach out to me and I can share everything. So it's not exclusive to realtors. As a normal buyer, it's still available to you because all these properties are listed on MLS. Now, how I usually do is that when we are moving forward with the power of sale or this kind of situation, we make sure we have our inspector, we take permission from the listing agent, have our own inspector ready, and do a walkthrough inspection of that particular home. So that way, my buyers know what they are purchasing into. As I mentioned, like all the power of sale properties are as is condition. So whatever you see, you will buy that. The second clause I always add in a power of sale property is any error of any taxes or anything like that. So if the seller has not paid the taxes, we will be able to know about that. And usually a lawyer will be very helpful in this kind of situation where they can get some information, or you can also reach out to the city. In most municipalities is okay. You can also reach out to the city and you can get an idea what are the taxes left or unpaid from the current seller. So that way you get an idea, and at the end of the closing you don't have a long bill which you are not accounted for. So these are the three things you need to consider when looking at a power of sale. The number one, it's not exclusive to realtor, it is available on MLS. The second thing, have your home inspector ready to do a walkthrough inspection on that particular one. And the number three thing would be have a clause written down in the contract. So let your realtor know they put down this clause of any property taxes or any errors, especially related to the property. So that way you know what you are going into. And just to give you an idea, there are so much more into power of sale depending on property to property. Sometimes there are some conditions in power of sale where, let's say, if TD is selling a property and they might put a condition in that if this home will be conditional for 7 days, and if someone puts another offer in that, then the 7 day condition period will start from that particular day. So, what we mean by that is, let me give you an example. If you're a buyer who's interested in purchasing a property, you put an offer on a property and then you have a 7 day conditional period on that one. Now, what happens if another buyer on the fifth day put an offer on that one? Then the 7 day conditional period starts from that. So basically, a bank will have more 7 days on the fifth day. So that way, your timeline can be elongated in that one, and no particular timeline could be fixed on that. Now, this is not generally in all the scenario, but most of the time the bank will put some kind of clause into that to in their favor. So make sure you understand everything. It's not your typical resale property. So the amount of forms, amount of clauses you will see in this one is much more compared to a resale property where it's just only a one page or two page. That's pretty much it. And this one, it will be likely you will have schedule A, B, C, D, E, or more depending on back to bank. So make sure you review everything, you review with your lawyer, you review with your realtor and understand it properly, then only move forward with this kind of properties. So let's talk about the key takeaway from this. Now, if you are someone who is owner of that property and in financial trouble as a homeowner, communicate with your lender early. Don't wait until a notice of sale arrives. And if you're someone who's looking to buy a power of sale property, always do a proper due diligence, hire a lawyer, do a full title search, and budget for an unexpected repair. And in this case, a home inspector is very useful. Now, these deals can be opportunity, but they come with a risk. So don't go blind in this one. As we mentioned, what are the risks in purchasing a power of sale property? Now, buying your home is a big step, and understanding things like power of sale, how it operates, it helps you to make smarter decisions. If you found this video helpful, hit that like and subscribe button for more real estate tips like this. And if you have any questions about power of sale, drop a comment below and you can reach out to me through email as well. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.